Hi, Closet Sim Racer. Welcome to another video. So today I am going to run through my top 5 tips for getting a Quest 3 for the first time. This is mainly for sim racing related because that's mainly what I use mine for. But there are other things that can apply to a degree. So I'm not going to mess about, just going to get on with it. If you're helpful, like and subscribe, post in the comments, all that kind of thing. So I'm going to start straight in there. The elephant in the room, if you will, is your system ready? Obviously, I see hundreds of messages on Facebook, Discords, about, I want to get a headset. Is my system good enough? Most of the time, probably not. That is the sad truth, sadly. You need a top-end PC to be able to run VR at a high level. If your PC can run sort of 4K games, absolutely fine. If you right at the top end, then absolutely your PC will be absolutely no problem at all. If you struggle to run certain titles at 1080p, you're going to struggle with VR. That is sadly a sad truth. That is basically the long and short of it. You need a high-end PC to be able to run it. You can run it on lower-end PCs, but you will be like, everything will be turned down. You'll basically just have you and the car, like single player, just driving around on your own. Any other cars, it'll just kill your system. And unfortunately, it's a sad truth, but that's basically just the way it is. For reference, I have a 5700X3D. I've got a NVIDIA 3080 10GB model, and I've got 32GB of RAM. And I would recommend 32GB as well. I have seen my iRacing particularly in the regions of using 18GB. So if you've got 16GB, again, you will struggle a little bit. Would recommend 32. If you're unsure whether your PC is able to run it, feel free to post out your system in the comments. I'm more than happy to help and offer advice if possible. So yeah, post it in there. I'll certainly try and do my best to help you. Number 2 on my list, I have a third-party head strap. What you can see here. So the standard one is fine for using it for like walking on the plank and all that kind of fun stuff that you see on the internet, and passing it between friends for short, quick games like Beat Saber and stuff like that. But if you're sitting in your rig and you're doing like an endurance race for 2 or 3 hours, that headset, it's just not good enough. Not good enough at all. So I have, grab the box so you can see it. I have this one, M3 Pro head strap. I'm not sponsored by it at all. Paid for, I say with my own money. The missus actually bought me this, and I'm really impressed with it. It's very comfortable, fits on my head nicely. I like the tilt function on it, which I'll show you quickly. So I can have it on the head like this, and then it does tilt like that, so you can quickly glance down and see whatever it is that you're looking at. Also, the rear of it also tilts up like that as well. Obviously, the ease of putting it in and on and off, and then when you tighten it up, you use this at the back to tighten the strap, loosen it, tighten it. Very good. Works really well. I've used it Daytona. I used it at Sebring. I've used it in some league races. I've done 2.5, nearly 3 hours in that headset. It's absolutely fine. Gets a bit warm, but that's the Quest 3 thing. But yeah, it's absolutely fine. So I recommend not necessarily this one, but look for a third-party head strap if you're thinking about doing racing for a couple of hours. Not the standard one. It's just not good enough. Not good enough at all. Which brings me on to number 3. Obviously, with the Quest 3, it is battery powered. As part of that head strap, you do get an additional battery, but for running longer races, what you want is a link cable, as you can see mine here. Has a few benefits to that. Unless you've got a full super duper Wi-Fi 7 or whatever the latest Wi-Fi is, and it's fully like set up and super quick, the actual Wi-Fi link between the PC and the headset, I couldn't get on with that at all. It was just stutter city, and it looked horrible, and I kept, everything was juddering, because my internet's not amazing here, but it should have been good enough, but I didn't get on with that at all. So obviously I got myself a link cable. I will show you my link cable. Bear with me. This is my computer screen. I took a screenshot of it. That is the one that I bought from Amazon. So you can see it. Obviously, I'll post the link down below. It's not sponsored and all that kind of stuff. But as you can see on the headset, it plugs into the headset down at the side here. And then also, if you look right here, what you do is you plug then your charger into it, which then keeps the headset charged. I've never had an issue with the battery running down while it's plugged in. And then also, obviously, that then links to the PC directly, and all the data transfers through at a high rate. I've had no issues with it. It's loads better than Wi-Fi, 100%. Buy one. As you can see, this one is a lot cheaper than the 80 or 90 pounds in the UK that Meta will charge you for one. So big saving. That works a treat. Highly recommend. Not necessarily this one, but certainly one with a charging port within it as well. So that is that. So it brings me on to the next one, bitrate. You need a technical degree to operate VR. As I've said in previous videos, it's not a plug and play situation. So don't for a second think you're going to get a system, get a headset, plug it in, put it on, and it's going to work. It doesn't happen like that. You spend forever in settings until you get it correctly, and then you think, oh, I might just get that little bit more, and then you break it, and then you spend another hour putting everything back to how you had it before, if you can remember what it was, and the cycle carries on. I like to try to do, when it works, leave it, don't touch it, because you'll just break it. So that brings me on to bitrate. Now this is something that I had to get used to from my previous headset. I will just bring it up to show you. So to adjust the bitrate within your headset, my camera's in the way, you need to find the Oculus debug tool, which I will, if you want to pause and zoom in on that, that is the location for your Oculus debug tool. So it's program files, Oculus support, Oculus diagnostics, and then it's within this folder just here. So I'm going to open it up. And then, right, I mean, there's a couple of things in here. There's two things that I always do. So, number one, asynchronous space warp disabled. Always disable that. It has a habit of re-enabling itself all the time, which basically just limits your headset to 45 FPS when it feels like you're struggling. So if you drop down to like 70 and it's struggling a little bit, it'll activate that and it'll look shocking in the headset. So always disable that. Best thing you can do. The next one is, this is your bitrate here. So encode bitrate MPS. I can't remember what it was, standard. Basically, you want to increase that up until the point you can't increase it anymore. You'll know because you'll get like a bit of juddering and stuff like that. I have had it up at the maximum 960, but I find anywhere between sort of 500 plus is a million times better than standard. I think it was like a couple of hundred or something. I can't remember what it was set at initially. Change that, makes loads of difference. So that is tip number 4. Bitrate, change it. Don't forget, especially obviously with it plugged in. If you again using it Wi-Fi, then the adjustments might be a bit more minor on that. Because I found once I touched that on Wi-Fi, it just broke everything. You have to have it like minimum because of the data transfer. But on the cable, I can put it up to 960, but I just balance it out, put it down at 700. And I'm more than happy with the results of that. Happy days. So, next one. Finally, tip number 5, run your headset at 90 Hz or 90 FPS. Out the box, when you plug it in for the first time, it'll only run at 72 Hz, and it's not as good as 90 Hz. As I was talking earlier about the systems, if your system is slightly on the lower end, you can run it at 72 Hz. That will save a bit of processing power, GPU, CPU. But me personally, I don't think it's as nice at 72 Hz. I much prefer it at 90. It's a lot smoother experience. So when you get it, this is what you have to do to run it at 90 Hz, or how you change the setting. So I'll quickly show you this. I've got it up already, so it's here. This is my headset all plugged in and active. You click on the headset, you go down to graphic preferences, just here, and I've got it now set at 90 Hz. It recommends 72, but again, if you're running it, your PC's a beast. 90 Hz is the way forward. I still haven't tried 120. 90 Hz I'm happy with. Also, the other big tip is super sampling. While we're here, I might as well show you. So your render resolution, this is its default state just here, which is basically 1. So it's 1 pixel or something. Basically increasing that increases the amount of pixels in the headset, increases the amount of workload for the PC, etc, etc. Basically increases the resolution within the headset. Now if your PC is good enough, mine seems to be able to run it at 1.2 no problem. I know people can run it at 1.7 or even 2, but you need super duper computers for that. Mine's happy at 1.2. I notice difference in the headset, loads better. Absolutely do that. So they are my top 5 tips for someone new coming to the Quest 3 and what you can expect out of sim racing. Let me know if I've missed anything in the comments. Alternatively, if you found this helpful at all, again, let me know in the comments. And then finally, if you've enjoyed it and you want to see some more, any tips or tricks that I can help you with, like and subscribe. Off-Bit Closet Sim Racer. See you, bye.